Welcome to your online library instruction guide for researching consumer information using the library's business databases. If you have not watched the Introduction to Business Resources video, please do that before proceeding with this module. Our starting point is the library's Marketing Subject Guide. The research topic that we will be exploring is consumers who use products in the personal hygiene industry. This industry includes products such as deodorant, shampoo, soap, toothpaste, and other oral care products. We will focus on the deodorant brand Speed Stick. Make sure that the Consumer and Market Data tab is selected. Our top database for researching consumer information is the GfK MRI's Survey of the American Consumer. MRI, as it is commonly known, includes product, service, and brand usage data collected semi-annually from a national probability sample of 25,000 plus households. In order to use MRI, you will need to register and set up an account. The account setup instructions are here. The first thing that you need to do is to scroll down to the Request U of L's registration code box and enter the first part of your official U of L email address only. You do not need to enter the @louisville.edu portion of the address. You also cannot use a non-U of L email address. Click on the Submit Form button, and you will receive an email shortly after that with your registration code. You then follow the rest of the registration instructions and go to the link provided there. Click on Register. You enter your registration code, your name, your email address, and the code that is displayed there, and click Register again. You will receive another email stating that your account has been activated, at which time you will set up a password to use for logging into the system. You only need to go through this setup account registration process once per semester. The system purges users after each semester, so if you use this database again next semester, you would need to register again. You do not need to go through this every single time you use the database. So once you have your login credentials, you can go directly to the login link. You enter your credentials here. Click Login. And you are given two different options, Pocket Piece and University Reporter. Choose University Reporter in order to access the consumer data. MRI only provides data for the last 3 years. Whatever date displays in the top choice is the most recent data available. We will select 2019. We have two options here. We can search the entire database using the box at the top, or we can navigate using the categories. I suggest the latter. It is a much easier route to finding the information that you need. So, our research question is, what are the characteristics of adults 21 and over who have used Speed Stick, antiperspirant, and deodorant in the last 6 months? To find that information, we are going to look at health and beauty aids. Notice that there are a variety of subcategories. Anything from adhesive bandages to bleach to contact lenses, cosmetics. We are going to select deodorants and antiperspirants. Notice that you have statistical data on your right and some options for manipulating that data on the left. We can look at the standard report, which is this format, or we can look at a trend report, which shows a comparison of the 3 years that are available in this database. For the purposes of this example, we're going to use the standard report. The base represents the universe of people that we want to study. We can look at men only, women only. We could look at total principal shoppers. We can look at male principal shoppers or female principal shoppers or principal shoppers that are 21 and over or adults that are 21 and over. That last one is the one that we're going to choose, adults 21 and over. Notice that each time I select something on the left, the numbers change on the right. So we want to combine several of these options. So I'm going to select all of these items. Notice at the bottom it says to use Control and left click to select items. For usage, we want to look at used in the last 6 months total. We could also choose used in the last 7 days and the frequency of usage, but we're going to keep it at the last 6 months total. For brands, we have 55 different options. If we click on brands, it opens it up. And our question was regarding Speed Stick. I'm going to use my control button to click that as well. So notice now that used in the last 6 months is highlighted, as well as Speed Stick. For types, our question didn't specify scented or unscented, so I'm going to use my control button and select both. And finally, for kinds, we can select antiperspirant and deodorant combined, we can select deodorant only, or we can select antiperspirant only. Our question specified antiperspirant and deodorant combined, so I'm going to select that as well. So now that we have selected all of our options, the chart on the right reflects information about adults 21 and over who have used Speed Stick, antiperspirant, and deodorant combined in the last 6 months. You will find here information about age, education level, occupation, household income, race, television viewing habits, what channels they like to watch, whether or not they subscribe to cable or satellite, any magazines that they read, the types of TV shows watched, the types of websites or specific websites viewed, and the type of social media that they use. I suggest that you use the help icon in the top right corner to access the MRI tutorial. Specifically, I recommend that you look at page 6. There is a chart there that tells you how to read an MRI worksheet. It tells you what each column means, it tells you how to sort them, and it tells you how to download the data. MRI is the most powerful database that we have for researching consumer information. You can use this in conjunction with Statista to paint a portrait of consumers who use a particular product or who use a category of products. You can return to the marketing guide, select the Consumer and Market Data tab for additional databases to search. We have additional databases for demographics and spending data, opinion polls, articles, and data sets.